So tell me a little bit about what does International Women's Day mean to you as a woman and as a woman with a disability?
It means to me, International Women's Day is a day that we celebrate and express gratitude towards women's contribution in the society. We're part of that women, regardless whether we have a disability or whether we don't have a disability. So we fit in that category. And women came a long way. They paved the way for us. So personally, it means to me a day that I get opportunity to sit at the table. Normally, we don't get that opportunity to sit at the table. So it's a day that I can sit at the table and also highlight it, the disparity of women's status in society, regardless of where you look at it. We still haven't taken into account. We're talking about, gender pay gap and all that, but they still haven't taken into that other intersectionality, like women of color, women with disabilities, women of diverse, different genders, different abilities. So this sort of a day I really like to highlight it, where yes, include all of us, not just women. And this year, particularly the theme, it's really said counter in, and I feel like we have not been counted yet.
Can you give me some examples around the workspace and within the workplace, some of the barriers that you may have, or other women may have faced with disability in the workspace?
Women with disabilities are underrepresented in the workplace. If they have, those who are lucky to have a jobs, they most of the time are low entry levels. So we face a number of barriers in terms of accessibility, the building being accessible. We have aspirations as anyone else, but in accessible workplace, lack of tailored professional development, and attitude in the workplace, not being inclusive, not being welcoming, and not feeling, bringing our whole self to work, particularly those of us who have an invisible disability. That's the challenge we really face.
You've mentioned a lot about intersectionality. Help those that don't understand what it actually means, and what is the impact of this on disability space?
So intersectionality refers to the ways in which different aspects of a person's identity intersect. So like such as sex, gender, class, race, ethnicity, indigeneity, religion, language. So that's what intersectionality is. I represent myself in many communities, as I said before. I'm a woman who wears hijab. I belong to the Muslim faith community. I am woman with disability. I'm a mother. I am a refugee. I came to this country as a refugee. I'm a migrant. And I'm a woman with disability. So those sort of intersectionality, that's what I mean. I represent many communities. And in general, really, when you look at it, women need to break the glass ceiling. But when you add all this other intersectionality, the glass ceiling or the bamboo ceiling becomes a concrete.
So how do you feel about the representation in the media around intersectionality identities, in particular in the disability space?
We're lacking a lot of representation in there. I don't see many of me. I know I've got multiple intersectionalities, but I don't see many people with visible disability, and it's a challenge. So we don't see that visibility really out there. We miss it. We lack in that. And if you look at the whole intersectionality, it's also missing that. You don't see many, people of color or many other communities. And you cannot aspire if you cannot if you cannot see who looks like you or sounds like you. I really like to say that we can all do our bit to champion representation of people with disability or intersectional leaders by expanding employment pathways. So as I mentioned, creating opportunities, investing in developing. There's no point of providing, professional development while the person is visually impaired and you only have hard copies. It doesn't meet the need for them. Or the person have a hard hearing, so it won't meet their needs. So we need to look at really that sort of a tailored approach to develop, people with disability or intersectional leaders. Start educating your own family, start educating your friends, and then take I really like to see tangible action being done and senior leaders walk the talk rather than saying it's nice to have. It's actually must have. Diversity is important.